Good morning and afternoon and evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm John Gray, and we're just plain living here.
Good morning, I'm Peggy Burton, and glad to be alive in this heat.
In the heat.
In the heat of the day.
Night.
My gosh,
It was heat of the night at 11 o'clock last night. It was 87 degrees.
I know.
87 degrees at 11
Finally, by this morning, I think it reached 72, and then
maybe.
I jacked my thermostat up, which I think everybody should, shouldn't they? Because I don't know how the electric company can handle the electricity required.
Well, we don't keep ours freezing cold anyway.
Yeah, but you know.
You know, I like, and even in the winter time, we sleep with a fan.
You do?
Yeah, it's a little oscillating fan that's on a dresser
I guess
that
a lot of
points to the
people
bed.
do.
It points to the bed, and it whatever the air's in the room, it just moves air, and the sound, it's a white noise.
So you sleep through it.
That is constant, so no matter what's going on. And where we live, there's not a whole lot of traffic anyway, but still it's just that constant whir of that fan. It sort of lulls you to sleep and has breeze sort of blowing over you.
Did you go? You went to the concert because you
Friday night.
Friday night, you filmed it.
Stan Allen. Yeah,
Are we
going to show some video of that today.
I thought that was excellent. And my gosh, when you get people like John Cook up there playing his guitar.
Well, and Pike Saunders is an incredible guitar player.
They all were, and I don't know everybody. I knew Stan and Pike and John and the drummer and the other guitarist.
The bass player, I
fabulous.
recognized his name, but I don't know him, and he's good. And the drummer, they're all good. Well, and Stan is kind of amazing to me because years ago, he was making a run at country music, and Judd Matheny was his agent, and had him. He opened for some pretty big folks, and
I think
played around, and
it
just didn't work, as things don't. You know, it's kind of hard to make a living and raise a family when you're not making a payday.
Yeah, I kind of learned early that
he did some other job.
If I was going to do music, I better learn to do some other things.
Yeah, well, I think he worked at Bridgestone up in McMinnville, and then now he is a property assessor.
He's
and
a
that gives him a little
nice
free
guy.
time.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have to report to somebody every morning at such and such a time and work till such and such. So he started back with his music again. Stan and I wrote probably 6, 8, 10 songs.
I love the
20 some odd years
wrote
ago
that he performed. They were really nice.
You know, and
Stan's
a good writer. And I told him the other night after the concert, I said, Stan, I think your singing voice right now is better than it ever has been. Strong.
I like that I can understand his words.
Yeah, he's very clear in what he sings, and of course got a bunch of good musicians, and
he chose a very nice repertoire of music.
Yes.
A crossover.
Yes,
between a lot
not
of great
everything
artists.
was country.
It was very nice.
Yeah, it's a good show at South Jackson, and that was the last of the first scheduling
of the Courtyard
Series, and they're going to continue to do that.
We'll start back in October, and there'll be 4, I think, going into the fall. I think it's starting in October. It could be September, so don't quote me.
Yeah,
anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I wanted to say this about the Civic Center. The ballroom dance classes are starting Thursday night, 6:30. I believe they're in the annex. But anyway, if you want information, 455-5321.
That's right. And the country shows being written and put together right now. Auditions have been held. And
we've been writing commercials already.
And, and you need to realize if you've never been to South Jackson Goes Country in the 43 years that it's been done, or this is the 43rd year, the commercials are a major part of that show, just like they used to be on live radio
and Opry
and at the Opry, and the commercials are a big part of the Super Bowl. A lot of people don't watch the Super Bowl for the football
They wanna
game.
see
They
the
watch the
commercials, yeah.
commercials. And all of these are done live, written by local people, and they're hilarious. And the sponsors really get a good deal for what they pay, I think, because of the effort that goes into the writing and costuming
Oh, yeah.
and performance of these commercials, because we did one for the pest control company, and I think it was last year, year before, Cheryl, isn't it? Cheryl's Pest Control. And we had a kid dressed up like a rat, and we had one like a mouse or spiders. But you have to create all those costumes.
Yeah, I have a question about pest control, and I'm going to call my pest control people today and ask this question. Do they get rid of snakes? It certainly is
you
a
still
pest.
have snakes again?
Well, just one, but I think
Just
Stanley.
feed that. We'll just name it and feed it.
his name is Stanley, but I think he.
It's
I
doing
didn't-
some
I did
good.
not actually see him yesterday. Yesterday I did the mothballs.
Yeah, but he's not poisonous, is he?
Well, I'm not asking. I mean, I'm not.
You hadn't
getting that
asked him?
I'm not getting that close. I think it's just a brown rat snake or
Well,
whatever.
then don't worry about it. It's not going to hurt anything.
Well, but he'll make me hurt myself if I see him too close. You know,
Well,
when you
we
walk
just-
out and suddenly there he is.
But what we need to do is we need to get Lyle out there with the city,
to collect my snake.
and check him out and make sure what he is.
I don't know how they get a hold of him because.
Well, Lyle will. And Lyle
Oh,
can look
okay.
at his head and you can tell whether he's poisonous or non-poisonous. And if he's a rat snake and
I know,
he's a good guy.
But you don't want him right up against your swimming pool, laying out,
Son,
relaxing.
then put a closed snake signs by the side of it. Here you go. Peggy's got a
No,
swimming pool.
I think-
Everybody gets invited
I
out
think
there
he's-
to enjoy the pool,
And the
except the snake, who's killing all the rats. He's working harder than anybody out there.
I think he's not there now. I think he's gone. I didn't see him yesterday. It was too hot for him.
Peggy, today is Flag Day, and we have a little flag display out front. And one of the greatest songs, and I'm thinking, it's not really a song; it's an oratory, and it's Johnny Cash talking about that ragged old flag.
Yes, I
And
remember
for
that.
Flag Day, I told Philip to find that, and we're going to bring you that
Good.
right now. Johnny Cash on the Ralph Emery Show reciting the ragged old flag.
30 seconds, please.
I think.
Well, they're maybe not listening back there.
Well, they're listening. They maybe just they hadn't got it pulled up yet, but they will. And
We might do it a little later. We'll see.
no, well, we'll do it right now. They're just.
I walked through a county courthouse square, and on a park bench, an old man was sitting there. I said, "Your old courthouse is kind of run down." He said, "No, it'll do for our little town." I said, "Your old flagpole's kind of leaned a little bit, and that's a ragged old flag you got hanging on it." He said, "Have a seat," and I sat down. "Is this the first time you've come to our little town?" I said, "I think it is." He said, "I don't like to brag, but we're kind of proud of that ragged old flag. You see, we got a little hole in that flag there when Washington took it across the Delaware. And it got powder burned the night Francis Scott Key sat up watching it writing, 'Say, can you see?' Got a little rip in New Orleans with Pakenham and Jackson tugging at its seams. It almost fell at the Alamo beside the Texas flag, but she waved on though. It got cut with a sword at Chancellorsville, got cut again at Shiloh Hill. There was Robert E. Lee, Beauregard, and Bragg, and the south wind blew hard on that ragged old flag. In Flanders Field in World War I, she took a bad hit from a Bertha gun. She turned blood red in World War II. She hung limp and low by the time that one was through. She was in Korea, Vietnam. She went where she was sent by her Uncle Sam. The Native Americans, the blacks, brown, yellow, white, all shed red blood for the stars and stripes. And in her own good land here, she's been abused. She's been burned, dishonored, denied, refused, and the very government for which she stands has been scandalized throughout the land. And she's getting threadbare, and she's wearing kind of thin. But she's in good shape for the shape she's in, because she's been through the fire before, and she can take a whole lot more. So we raise her up every morning, we bring her down slowly every night, we don't let her touch the ground, and we fold her upright. On second thought, I guess I do like to brag, because I'm mighty proud of that ragged old flag.
I love that.
And that's something I've got. If you don't have
That's
chills
beautiful.
right now, you're not American.
That's right.
I mean, it's just that simple. What a wonderful thing. And I want to bring up a point. I think it was this past weekend, there was a flag retirement ceremony done by the Girl Scouts. Greg Gressel and his scout troop goes through the proper procedure. I know Bob Couch used to do it for years and years and years. And each flag that was brought, the same rites and reading are done as each one individually.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Is burned and destroyed in the proper way. So if you have a ragged old flag and you've gotten a new one, I know sometimes our flags get tattered and torn, and that's one thing that Daddy Bob was really, really serious about was his respect for the flag and how it was used and how it was lit and the shape that they were in. And
We have always been that way.
pull it
yeah.
down, put a new one up, and save it until there's another retirement ceremony, and retire your flag in the proper way. And
It's important.
It is.
I think it's a lesson to this next generation and generations to come if we keep doing that.
Right.
So many grow up maybe and don't know
They
what
don't understand
America is
because
about,
we're not being taught those things,
and that's important.
and it's important that our young people learn that and the respect of our flag. God bless the red, white, and blue. We'll be back right after these messages.
I got a tour and I saw all the things and I was so excited about them. Then she took me to the movie theater and it had red chairs. And this is a done deal and I like it.
We have so many activities here that you just can't keep up with them all. We have exercise, we have coloring, we have crafts.
It's charming, it's attractive, it's very comfortable. It was one of the best decisions of my life.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, no. This warrior will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
I was skeptical about getting the COVID-19 vaccine. There are a lot of opinions being shared. But I had the chance to talk with my doctor about my concerns. He told me the vaccines are backed by decades of research, and that the vaccines are proven safe and effective. Now I'm protected and ready to put this pandemic behind us. Join the millions of Tennesseans who have decided to give COVID-19 vaccines a shot. Visit covid19.tn.gov to find an appointment today.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad to have our police chief, Jason Williams, back with police pointers on Just Plain Living on Channel 6 and 193 on Charter. And welcome, Chief.
Thank you, sir.
How you doing?
Doing good.
Everything good in the city of Tullahoma?
A little warm right now, but other than that, everything's good. Yes, sir.
Do we need the fire department up here too
We
to
might.
hose us down?
We have another couple days like this. Whew, yeah.
It's tough out there.
Yes,
It's
sir.
tough out there. Lot going on. There's a lot of changes. If you want people watch the board meetings and the things that we have on our channel, the planning commission and stuff, there is a lot of activity in Tullahoma.
Yes, sir. You know, it's I know a lot of people say it, but I believe in it myself. I feel it's a great time to be in Tullahoma. There's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of, possibility of a lot of new places to shop that are going to be opening up here, a lot of places to eat that are going to be continually looking to open up here, and so yeah, it's a great time to be in Tullahoma.
Well, and every indicator, national indicators, places Tullahoma in the top 10 micropolitans, and when that happens and you're successful in what you've created and the vibe that you've got going on, there's one thing that always happens. The underbelly finds a way to sneak in, and the criminals always want to come where the money is and where change is happening, and they try to figure a way to sneak in somehow unlawfully and get a hold of some of what's going on. And I think the scams that are on our phones and that come in the mail and just it's just the social media has allowed. I saw on the Today Show this morning where kids are buying drugs off the internet. Their parents don't even know what Twitter, Witter, Bitter, whatever sites that are out there, and the federal government's trying to find a way to shut that stuff down.
Yep.
And I think scams is what you'd like to talk about today, and how we can watch out about that stuff.
No, yeah, you make some fantastic points. Anytime you have a growing community, you have a lot of things going on. Some of the things that we do is, expanding internet access to people that may have not even had that before, just depending on where they live in the community. As technology continues to evolve, it gives people a lot more access to things that they normally weren't exposed to, and so they might be kind of going into a few situations not really understanding what's happening or what people are trying to get from them in the process. And I know it's become a really big issue for us, especially the past since COVID. We had a lot of people that stayed at home, had a lot of people that were on the internet because everybody was trying to stay well and everything. And it just seemed like from that point forward, we had a lot of fraud kind of really take off in the community, especially online fraud. And one of the things I wanted to kind of present you with today is we've kind of put together, gotten a booklet here on identity theft and some
That's
steps
outstanding.
that people can take. It's got information in it from the standpoint of what government websites you can go to report certain activities and certain information. And it also walks people through processes of if they feel that they are a victim of identity theft and what they can do in order to take the necessary steps to help protect themselves. And if they have been a victim, what they can do to hopefully kind of right that ship. So,
Well, one thing I would like to say is when we have a lot of people with a lot of time on their hands, and a lot of working people who were going out and working 8, 10 hours a day, 12 hours, however many, were spending more time at home. Well, all of a sudden they've got this keyboard and this screen in front of them, and they're looking and they're finding, and all of a sudden, folks, when you get to something and it asks you to make a decision on what button to hit on your computer, and it's baiting you to take you somewhere else, just don't do it.
no, absolutely good point. Listen to your gut. If something sounds too good to be true, it is. Nobody is going to take a loss and give you money or something that has a very high value for free, or for you making a very minimal investment. One of the things we constantly hear is where people are called, and they're told that they won some type of lottery winning. You've won $50,000, or they're happy to tell you that you've won $20,000. But before they can send you that
Processing
money, yes, you've got to send them $3,000 or $4,000, and it does not work that way.
No.
And, if they're telling you that, you should know immediately that this is a scam and hang up the phone.
But I'm in a technical business in doing what we do, and there's a lot of technology that takes place here, but I'm not the one that does it. God bless Philip Scoggins and Andrew Todd and CJ and all the people that work behind those doors right there who understand that. And when I get on the computer and I'm looking for something, and all of a sudden something else pops up and it says, well, for you to go further, you need to make a decision about, go ahead and click this. I say, Philip, come here. Should I do this? Now, we all think we know more than we know. And just like you said, there's a gut feeling there. If you think this is even close, because I had my computer, and as much protection as we have, and we have probably as much protection as anybody, I got some of my files were locked. I was locked out of my files by ransomware. And somebody in Russia wanted $350 to open my files back up. And even knowing what I know and trying to be as good as I can, all of a sudden, all your information is held by somebody in Russia. And they've ruined your whole day or your life in some cases, because they're into your money, they're into your bank accounts, they're into whatever. So it's really, really crucial.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And we encourage everybody, if you think that you've been a victim of identity theft, please go to your bank, have them pull a credit report on you so you can see if there's any discrepancies there, if there are things that are happening on your credit report that you didn't authorize, because you can then turn around and lock everything down. So that way, if somebody tries to, use your information to get credit at another location or to get, whatever, a loan or whatever the case may be, it will prevent that from happening. So that's kind of one of the first things we tell everybody. If you think you've been a victim of identity theft, you're going to have to be proactive in what you do and how you decide to handle it. But please, if you have a bank that you deal with, that you trust, get with them, get a credit report run. look at it thoroughly, make sure everything on it lines up for things that you know you have done, and then, just go from there to take the necessary steps to get everything locked down and prevent anything else further from happening. And then, as always, you can come to the police department, do a report. We'll have that on file, because a lot of places, if you dispute something, will probably need something showing that this is criminal activity. Like you alluded to earlier, a lot of the activity comes from overseas, and there's just not, us being the Tullahoma Police Department, if it didn't happen directly in Tullahoma, there's nothing we can really do to try to recoup somebody's money or help make them whole again, because a lot of the activity does come from overseas.
Well, and if you have something happen, don't say, well, I'll take care of that tomorrow. Because when I let Philip know what happened to my computer, we went in there and shut that computer down and started uploading files to the cloud, and went and got a portable hard drive, downloaded it, because just because they get into one thing doesn't mean they've gotten into everything else. It might take a little time for them to get there, but once they're in there, and your bank, your bank will usually know your patterns of how you spend and where you spend. And it's always good if you're going out of town or somewhere to let your bank know, look, I'm going to be somewhere else, and if you see something come through, it's probably me. But when you're not, and a $20 bill, $20, $50 purchase comes in, that's what they'll do. They'll try that first.
Absolutely.
And if you don't do something about it, then they'll come back. The next time it'll be 200, 300. So you've got to be proactive, not reactive.
Absolutely.
In these situations, and it's very, very important that you do. And the FBI, I asked the FBI, because they were in our building in our last location, what can you do about this? And they said, we'd have to hire 10,000 more agents. There's not enough people to deal with it, so we individually have to educate ourselves and be as smart about it as we can.
Absolutely.
And hope for the best.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's, you're responsible for your personal safety.
Right.
Be vigilant in what you do, and do things with a purpose. Always have a plan, always kind of in the back of your mind think about, well, okay, if this happened, what would I do in this situation, or how would I handle this? And that's, one of the things we're hoping to help people out with this booklet. You can feel free to stop in at the police department and get one. We've also started, if we have people that are unfortunately the victims of some type of identity theft or crime, when they come to pick up their police report, we're also handing out one of these booklets to them, which just has some basic good information and some resources that they can use to hopefully kind of quell things and maybe get things back on track. So.
Okay. Chief?
Yes, sir.
It's always a pleasure to have you.
Absolutely.
And thank you
sir.
for your service, you and your men and women of the Tullahoma Police Department, for keeping us as protected as we can, and hopefully we'll learn how to protect ourselves in some of these situations like this. But whenever you have a problem that you don't understand and you feel like you're being taken advantage of in any situation, go to the police, go to the Tullahoma Police Department. Remember, they're not our enemies, they're our friends. And they will treat you that way and respect you and help you solve your problems. So go see them down at the Tullahoma Police Department. Chief, see you next time.
Thanks, sir.
All
Looking
right,
forward to it.
Bye-bye.
The Bookshelf in Tullahoma is the fundraising arm of the Coffee County Literacy Council. Since 1988, the Literacy Council's goal and purpose has been to support and promote adult basic education in Coffee County. We enable individuals to complete their high school equivalency exam, which helps them get better jobs or continue into higher education. The Bookshelf at 114 Southwest Atlantic Street in Tullahoma is where we sell used books which are donated to us by the community. Come see us, bring your books to donate, and join us as you find every genre of books that you can imagine. Home.
MacArthur Manor Assisted Living is passionate about creating better experiences for our Manchester seniors. Our residents describe us in a few words.
Welcoming.
When you walk through the doors at MacArthur Manor, we'll treat you like family.
Caring.
Through high standards of personalized care, we help residents live life to its fullest.
Engaging.
With a wide range of life-enriching activities, there is something for everyone at MacArthur Manor. With our residents and staff now vaccinated, call us today to schedule your safe and personalized tour.
I had a knee replacement, so they've got me in life care, which I'm very, very thankful for. I couldn't garden, I couldn't do my flower beds, I can't chase my little dogs. I have been in several therapy sessions for knees and back, and that's the best therapist I believe I've ever been to. It's tremendous because I'm able to walk again, but if it wasn't for the care, I wouldn't be where I am.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
The individuals with dementia, those with Parkinson's, those that have maybe mobility issues, need caregivers. Well, those caregivers are 24 hours a day at home, and they never get a rest. And if they have to go to work, they're kind of out of luck. So that's why Trinity came into existence 25 years ago, to allow the caregivers to have a safe center where they could put their loved ones, know they would be well cared for, stimulated, fed good, nutritious meals, have activities to their level, and then the caregiver can stop by and pick them up and go on home and have some continuity into their life.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Hey, good morning, all you friends and viewers out in TV land, and thank you for our lady camera ladies that put it on the screen. If it wasn't for them, you'd never see a thing. And John, thank you for that introduction. It's always fun to be here and to share things and history and special events with our friends in TV land. You know, Flag Day is a special day. Old Glory, that has just been a wonderful tribute to our country and the patriotism that it embellishes, and the pledge of allegiance to the flag, and all those things that make it near and dear to us. I read in the paper the other day about a veteran that said the veterans are almost forgotten, but said every time that he sees the flag or hears the Star-Spangled Banner, it gives him cold chills because what it stands for, the freedoms that we enjoy. I thought I'd share with you today, even though Flag Day was yesterday, a wonderful reminiscing remembrance of a flag that meant a whole lot to a lot of people, especially from 1941 to 1946, when the government announced that they were going to build a big army post in Tullahoma, Tennessee, and Governor Prentice Cooper named it for our great Confederate cavalry general, Nathan Bedford Forrest, and it was called Camp Forrest in honor of that great general. And one of the things that meant a lot to us was the post headquarters and wonderful men that trained and served there and participated in the Tennessee maneuvers in 1942 and 1943. And when they were raising or tearing down the camp, many of those buildings were taken elsewhere. For example, the Red Cross building on South Jackson Street was the Red Cross building at Camp Forest, and it's still being used for the original purposes that the Red Cross was established for 83 years ago, and it maintains that building. But the significance of Flag Day came to mind that we rescued the post headquarters flag, that when the post headquarters were torn down, we rescued this flag, and this is the official 48-star flag that flew over the post headquarters at Camp Forest, and has a lot of meaning. It was tattered and rusty and faded somewhat, but the meaning of the flag is still with us, that it flew and was the headquarters for the camp, and it's tattered on the ends, but occasionally an old veteran from Camp Forest days would come by and see us, and we'd cut off a little square of the tattered end and give him so that he can have a memento of where he was trained, and he brings his children down. One of the veterans from Cleveland, Tennessee, Mr. Murray, was at Camp Forest and on the maneuvers, and his grandson kept asking him, "Grandpa, where were you and what did you do during the war?" And so Mr. Murray wrote a book and entitled it "Grandpa Saw It Happen," as a tribute to his grandson. And on another occasion, another topic, they mentioned soapbox derby a while ago. I saw my first soapbox derby in Dallas, Texas in 1936, and all those children that made their racing cars were just so excited about it, like they are here, and we're looking forward to that event. I believe it's on the 24th of June. It'll be real good. But this Saturday, of course, is the Southern Wheels and Spinning Wheels and Wheels in Motion. It's always a great show at South Jackson Civic Association campus there. And if you like older cars, well, come down. It's June the 17th, and it'll be a great day. We're hoping the weather will be good. If you like old cars and to reminisce, that'll be the place to go, which reminds me of my grandfather's first motorized delivery truck in 1920. I think it was either a Dodge or a Ford, but that was the latest and the most up-to-date delivery truck in Tullahoma. I don't know when he shot his mule that delivered groceries or the mule just died, but this is a modern, up-to-date, one-of-a-kind truck. I wish I still had that old truck. And that, I think, was about the same model of the first fire engine that came to Tullahoma. It was a real modern, up-to-date thing, and I think the pump on that old fire engine was probably a better pump than anything that we can have today. A lot of things to cover, a lot of reminiscing, and a lot of joy that brings back good memories from Tullahoma. We thank you for watching and hope you have a good day. And let me remind you that this is not the end of the story, because there's a whole lot more to come. Thank you and good morning.
Clayton's has been Tullahoma's shoe store for over 120 years, and Florence Hall continues that tradition today. We're the only shoe store in town that starts with measuring your foot to make sure you get the perfect fit in a quality shoe. That includes narrow through wide widths for men, women, and children. Clayton Shoes, the family shoe store you'll love.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
My husband was diagnosed with a spinal infection. He lost his ability to swallow and the movement of his legs.
I couldn't turn over in bed, I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat.
They were just wonderful in the treatment and care they gave my husband.
I regained my mobility where I was able to go home.
It is miraculous.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back. I'm lucky to be on the set again with Jamie and Royce, and we're here to talk about Juneteenth celebration.
Yes, we're back again. We're back again. How's everybody doing?
Oh, everybody's fine, but
Good.
I'm looking forward to what you're doing, and let's start by telling them when it is.
Okay. Sure. First of all, we're holding our first inaugural. That's kind of a double thing. But anyway, we're holding our first Juneteenth event here in Tullahoma, Tennessee. It's going to be on June the 18th, the day before Father's Day. It's on a Saturday. It's going to be from 12 to 5 p.m. at CD Stamps, the historical CD Stamps, right off of Jackson Street, 810 South Jackson Street. You know, man, we've got a lot of great events. It's called Shattered Chains. We call it Shattered Chains. It's basically out of the 107 chapter of Psalms, in particular, just speaking of God just breaking those chains that we have and taking us out of the darkness. And we really dedicated this more to like our fathers and stuff. And
Right.
we're paying
And
more attention.
I think the date of it is perfect.
Oh yeah,
Just
yeah,
preceding
definitely. It just so
Father's
happened
Day.
to be that, and that's what it's all about. That theme
Right.
was about our fathers and restoring the nuclear family, because that's where it really starts with our generation. If we work with our kids and other ones that we've become guardians of, if we work with them within the house, we'll be able to prepare them for things outside.
Right.
And that's
Exactly.
where it starts, before
Right.
school, before church, any of that at the home. So we're really excited about this event. We got a lot of good things going on. We got things for the kids.
I love that. So let's name some of
yeah.
the things for the kids, because people are looking for things for their kids to do.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna let her do that one. She's
Okay,
good with that.
Jamie.
So he has the scavenger hunt that he's going to be doing, and then with the scavenger hunt, we'll be giving away Splash Island tickets to the team of 4 that wins. Okay, so
Say that again. The team of 4 that wins.
Yeah, so you have a team of 4, and then each kid will get Splash Island tickets.
Oh, I see.
Right. So it's not just one person. It's going to be they're going to be
There'll
grouped
be
into
a
teams
team.
of 4. And so whichever team wins, they get their Splash Island tickets, and then
That's always fun to do a scavenger hunt. I think kids love that.
Right. Then we have, it's sponsored by London Family Foundation. They will be doing a educational relay. And that's a little different, but the instructions will be there when you guys get there, because it's something new, right? But their teams will be getting, the team that wins will be getting brand new bikes.
Okay, an educational relay. And so they're learning as they're playing or doing this activity.
Yes.
Exactly.
That's a smart thing to do.
Right.
Definitely. That's what we, kind of crown in edutainment, a little bit in education with a little
I like
entertainment.
that. Edutainment.
Edutainment. Y'all remember
I
that?
saw that in the article. It was a nice article,
Yeah.
by the
Yes.
way. Thank you
We
to the
appreciate it.
Tullahoma
Thank you.
News. That was a really nice article.
Thank you to Tullahoma News for that.
Yes, they did.
So we're really excited. We have 4 speakers actually. We don't want to name them just off top. Just want to keep it a surprise. But they are,
Renowned
yes,
and
yes,
good speakers.
Good speakers, pillars here in the community,
With something
and they're
to say.
gentlemen.
Right.
So we have to emphasize they are gentlemen, because we want to give our fathers and our men like a platform and a spotlight to let them know that we
Right.
appreciate them, and also to encourage them to continue to do what they're doing in their families.
Any community, any family, regardless of race or whatever, it's important the father's place in the household. And a lot of children these days miss that.
Yes.
And to me, that's one of the saddest things, because we have a lot of problems in the world because of not enough,
Fathers.
too much on this side. I was a military family, and my husband was gone a lot, and so we suffered a little bit of that. And so I'm so
Right.
proud of y'all for taking that under consideration.
Yes, thank you.
Most definitely. And, you know, I would definitely just like to add, you know what I'm saying, this ain't part of the script. You know? But no, this lady right here next to me, she's really done so much work. Like, she's done so
I can tell
work. Like, yeah,
she's well organized.
I couldn't.
Thank you.
I don't know how I keep up. I really don't even keep up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to catch up. That's the word.
Yeah.
But she's put in so much work. You know what I'm saying? Behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? With just, you know, just curating this thing and organizing this.
And coming up with new ideas.
Yeah, she's always like, you know, emailing me. Oh, I got this. I'm like, gosh, we got more. I said, okay, we're gonna put this out. But like, oh, we're gonna add this to there. I found some more stuff on Amazon. I'm like, all right, hold up. You know, but she's been really thorough with preparing, you know, this event. You know what I'm saying? So I got to give her much gratitude. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
And
an ideal person is just top notch.
Yeah, y'all need to hire her, especially for events and stuff. Real talk. she's dope with it, and we just, I mean, just on a general scale, like I just feel like, you know, Tullahoma is progressing. We're state champs, you know, and we have so much. We have several TV stations here, radio stations here. I'm just ready for this city to boom media-wise, and I would love to be a part of it, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just throwing my plug in there.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
What is it you actually do in real life?
Well, in real life, I do have a day job, but as far as my career and what I'm trying to pursue and what we are pursuing, we've actually we do film production. We've been doing it the last 10 years. But I also do voiceovers, radio and television production. Of course, I have my own podcast, Voices Rant. So just trying to build that. We also have artists that we produce. So we got a whole gumbo of talent that we are producing right now.
Do both of you live in this right here in Tullahoma?
Yeah, we live in Tullahoma.
I thought you did, but I thought, well, you know, maybe they're from Franklin County or whatever.
No, we're from Rare. Yeah, we do.
I have family in Franklin County. I was born there, but Tullahoma is pretty much my alma mater.
We're very lucky to have you, because people that will rise up and do things for their community to better the community. That's what's beautiful about Tullahoma.
Yes,
I think.
Yes, I will have to agree.
I think we have an awesome community.
We do, and I do want to make sure that they know we are raffling off dad bags.
Dad
bags.
Dad bags. Nice.
Yes, and so we made gift bags, and GNC sponsored some stuff to put in the bags.
They put some expensive stuff in
there.
Very
expensive stuff in there. I was really shocked and thankful at the same time. Yeah. But you know, when you first come in, you'll get your raffle ticket, and then.
And those bags were donated locally. The things that went in the bag.
Yeah, like I mean, we bought a lot of this stuff, but the other vendors put in.
That's
you know what they. You know.
And you want to thank those people for being such giving people to help fill up those bags. But that's a great idea, a dad bag, because next day is Father's Day, for heaven's sakes.
Yep.
Definitely.
What a great opportunity to do something.
Right. Yes. I think sometimes I think like there's the kid that wants to buy dad something but can't afford it, so maybe they can enter the raffle. You know,
I love
and
your
possibly
T-shirt,
that.
By the way,
Thank
are y'all
you.
selling those?
Yes, we are selling these. Yes, we are.
They're pretty much they'll be on the spot.
Yeah. About how much?
They are $25 for your regular sizes, and then 30. You know.
Is there anything on the back, or is it just the front?
Just that, and then the other ones we have.
Shattered Chains, Juneteenth celebration. That is wonderful.
Yes, thank you.
I love it. Oh my gosh, it's 28 seconds. It goes so fast. Let's, real quick, the date is the 8th?
Yep, June 18th. That's a Saturday. That's next Saturday.
No, this is Saturday.
This Saturday. I'm sorry, June 18th. This Saturday. I'm sorry, I got 2 jobs on my mind.
And it starts at
12 p.m. to 5 p.m. And it's free, all free.
It's free, yes.
And it's not even going to be raining. It's going to be 90 degrees outside.
And we have great food trucks.
And don't leave your money at home, however, even though it's free to get in.
Right.
But food trucks and plenty to drink and all that kind of stuff. Sounds fabulous.
Yes.
Royce and Jamie, thank you for what you do. What an asset you are to our community. I guess we'll be back with something. Just hang around.
What does caring look like? This is what caring looks like.
This is setting an example for others.
This is rising to the challenge.
This is doing what works. This is doing my part.
This is doing your part.
Each of us individually.
Act acting as one, keeping your distance, no matter how awkward it may seem.
This is wearing a mask.
Over your nose and mouth, like we are.
Keeping our distance.
Each wearing masks.
Not under your chin.
Not above your head.
Not in your hand, but over your nose and mouth.
This is listening to the expert. If you'll just
Wear one of these.
Caring makes community.
And this is what caring looks like.
Until COVID-19 is no longer a threat.
Until COVID-19 is no longer a threat.
Until COVID-19 is no longer a threat.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
I feel like we're safe at Parkview.
There's somebody on staff all the time. So if you need help, help is there.
We are surrounded with people that are looking after us and taking care of us.
The staff is wonderful and always available. We feel so safe and secure here.
I feel safe at Parkview all the time.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and I was talking with Chief Williams about all of the big things that are going on around Tullahoma. There's a lot of businesses moving in. We're getting ready to adopt the 2040 plan. Mary Samaniego was given the post of head planner and the planning department and taking over a position there as one of the city chiefs. And congratulations to Mary. She's extremely intelligent and does what she does very, very well. We're very fortunate to have her here. And as part of the meeting last night, Mayor Ray Noyes gave his State of the City report, and that's what we're going to bring you right now. Listen, and you'll find out a whole lot of good stuff that's happening in Tullahoma. Real good stuff.
This is my annual State of the City and budget address. So, to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen and citizens of Tullahoma, I submit that the city of Tullahoma is in excellent condition and a wonderful place to live, work, and raise a family. So this is my opportunity to discuss the economic condition of our city and address some of the achievements that have shaped our community during the past year. Tullahoma's diverse economy, our strong entrepreneurial sector, quality of life, they all ensure that we continue to attract both private and public investments. In fact, in 2021, the Heartland Ford Foundation ranked Tullahoma-Manchester micropolitan area 7th overall nationally. Polycon Corporation, an independent economic research firm which specializes in analyzing local and state economies, ranked our local area as number 56 out of 543 micropolitan areas in the U.S. In Tennessee, only Sevierville ranked higher. During FY 2021, the city issued 112 new business licenses. Tullahoma's Planning Commission was busy during 2021, addressing 16 rezoning applications, 4 zoning ordinance subdivision regulation amendments, and a total of 41 subdivision applications, creating 316 new lots on 220 acres. Approximately 60 new homes were constructed. So as an indication of the city's steady progress during FY22, that's July 21 through June 30th, 2022, the city has issued 124 new business licenses. The Planning Commission during FY 2022 has issued 4 rezoning applications, 4 zoning and subdivision regulation amendments, and 38 subdivision applications. That's created 261 new lots on 211 acres. And remember, the year's not over yet, so this does not include the June numbers. So as in FY21, approximately 60 new homes were constructed. So it's exciting to see new sidewalks being constructed, and still more in the pending budget. It's also exciting to see the city catching up on much-needed street repaving. To actually see the repaving of Cedar Lane being started within 2 weeks after final funding approval was most welcome. Other large capital projects included partnering with Tullahoma Utilities Authority to replace and upgrade downtown traffic lights. And we'll continue to make ADA transition plan improvements across the city. As in addition to regular roadway paving and repairs, the city anticipates completing the repairs on Wagner Street. The new addition at Fire Station Number 2 is almost finished, and renovation will soon begin on the Baltz Historic Building. That's a Red Cross building. After re-roofing the CD stamps and replacing the HVAC units, the gym walls have been repaired, and the flooring will now be replaced this year. A new guardrail will be installed along Short Springs Road, and a new section of sidewalk should be completed soon along East Grundy Street. Construction of sidewalks near Ovoca Road and Kings Lane are next sidewalk projects to be completed. The new restaurants and music venues are making our downtown area an exciting place to frequent. Several new murals around town add a distinctive touch to our city and reflect the artistic talent in our community. The new farmers market at South Jackson is also a welcome addition to our city. The Tullahoma Regional Airport continues to have a significant impact on our community. Fuel sales 2021 were over 221,000 gallons. That was compared to an all-time high of just over 255 gallons in 2019. However, due to an increasing price for fuel sales are projected to be down to around 190,000 gallons in 2022. Last year, the Tennessee Department of Transportation completed a year-long statewide aviation impact study reporting that Tullahoma Airport had a $21 million impact on our area. So I'm very happy to see the economic impact the airport contributes to our city, and I look forward to the airport attracting some more aviation-related new businesses at the 100-acre airport business park. So last year saw the addition of a major new facility at the airport, is Williamson Aviation. Owner Michael Williamson has invested over $1 million in the restoration of a World War II hangar, where he does precision machining for the military, aircraft refurbishment, and flight training. In recognition of Tullahoma's history of supporting our nation's military since the days of Camp Forrest to today's Arnold Air Force Base, our city has received the prestigious recognition as a great American defense community. Our city is committed to improving the lives of airmen, their families, veterans, the Guard and Reserve members, as well as the AEDC employees. Tullahoma will continue to build on our heritage as an aerospace center of excellence. In addition to focusing on aviation and the aerospace initiative, the AEDC will also pursue retail, medical information technology, entrepreneurial, and tourism development. Tullahoma continues to be a vital retail hub in our area. The city has a partnership with Retail Strategies since 2013. During that partnership, 425 jobs have been created. There's been a $73 million increment in annual retail sales and a $1.4 million annual increase in sales tax. The new Highway 55 restaurant on North Jackson is finally open, and the fashion anchor Marshalls at Northgate is expected to open in the late summer. Some goals for the city this year include the adoption of a 5-year capital plan that will incorporate the results of the recently completed Think Tullahoma 2040 comp plan with available ARPA funding and planned debt issuance as a strategic roadmap. The creation of Tullahoma's comprehensive development plan was the highlight of FY 2022, labeled Think Tullahoma. This plan is truly the Tullahoma Citizens Plan, as over 1,100 survey responses by citizens were received and considered. The plan has been thoroughly scrutinized by a steering committee, presented to the public for comments, and is now ready for presentation to the Planning Commission for their consideration and acceptance before submitting to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen for adoption. Using the comprehensive plan as a guidebook of citizens and community needs, our city leaders and staff can make informed decisions affecting transportation, housing, jobs, schools, parks, and the overall use of lands and investment in public infrastructure from now through the year 2040. Through the development of Think Tullahoma 2040 plan, which was arguably the most critical project of FY22, we've been able to foresee the growth that is just on the horizon for Tullahoma. As we prepare for the new homes and businesses that will be moving into Tullahoma over the next 5 to 10 years, I'm eager to begin work on the top priority projects identified in the 2040 plan. Over the next 12 to 24 months, I'm most looking forward to those projects that address infrastructure needs and long-awaited capital projects through the use of the American Rescue Plan funding. Our community will be busy with new developments, including a new 4-story hotel expected to soon begin construction, and several other new retailers and restaurants are coming to the area. Funding has been approved to implement the community's vision for a more attractive and cohesive look along North Jackson Street. Investments in this commercial area of Tullahoma are investments in those industry areas that were the hardest hit during the past 2 years. Also, we know that we'll get tremendous return on the investment by upgrading the look of the most visible and highest traffic corridor in our city. I've heard from many citizens who are most excited for our new sections of sidewalks, improvements to our downtown, and projects that will improve Wagner Park, Johnson Lane Sports Complex, and the grounds around South Jackson Civic Center. We've also set aside approximately $1.2 million for stormwater projects. These investments in the city drainage system will be less visible, but no less important for the future of Tullahoma. Over the last 3 years, this board has doubled the budget for annual paving compared to the last 3 years. Keeping this new trend, the city this year is budgeting $450,000 for annual street paving and repairs. Expenditure challenges addressed in the building the 2023 budget include addressing the 8.5% annual increase in the Consumer Price Index, which includes a 18.3% increase in the price of gas. In addition to the rapidly rising cost of gas, departments have faced increases in building and operating supplies, as well as shortages and long delivery delays. Funding priorities include continuing to provide competitive wages and benefits to retain and recruit employees, as well as allowing sufficient operating funds to compensate for rising costs. For this reason, the FY23 budget includes a 5% cost of living adjustment for employees and a 20% increase proposed for gas and fuel purchase and an annual base paving budget of $450,000. An aside, we will be addressing that 5% cost of living adjustment later on in our budget hearing tonight. Of our two largest general fund revenue sources that provide 80% of our operating income, they're property taxes and local sales tax. So in view of Tullahoma's strong economic trend, sales tax is forecasted to grow at 6%, which should generate an additional $400,000 in funding for Tullahoma City Schools as well, since the sales tax is shared between city and schools. As a result of the Coffin and Franklin County reappraisal process, the state of Tennessee provides Tullahoma with a new certified tax rate. The new tax rate will be significantly lower, a 47 cents reduction to assure that the near high tax base that results from the state standard reappraisal process will generate a revenue neutral outcome for the city. Again, as presented, the budget includes the new certified lower tax rate and does not propose a new property tax rate increase. This budget represents the 9th year of no proposed property tax rate increase. The proposed budget forecasts a 2% actual growth in the tax base due to new housing and new housing starts and commercial renovations, independent and reappraisal process. So based on the city's projected revenue and expenditures, the overall percent change in the total expenditures is up only 2% from last year's budget. And that's despite the large cost of living increases and inflation in the economy. So in light of addressing these larger economic factors, this annual budget as proposed is focusing around achieving 3 priorities. First, responding to the significant rise in the cost of living. Second, addressing the rising cost to provide excellent services. And third, supporting job creation and new business development, land development, and a vibrant economy. Funds allocated by the federal government through the American Rescue Plan Act will also be utilized to further the growth and recovery objectives. So in conclusion, I'm pleased to be able to report that our city government enjoys an AA2 bond rating, one of the highest in the state. Once again, our city government earned a GFOA Certificate of Achievement of Excellence in Financial Management, as well as a Distinguished Budget Presentation Award demonstrating excellence in transparency and reporting. These are independent, objective measures of how your tax monies are managed and measures of financial soundness. I appreciate the City Administrator Jennifer Moody and Finance Director Sue Wilson for their professional guidance in coordinating and compiling this budget, and thank all the city department heads for their excellent stewardship of the resources allocated to them. Submitted Bray Norris, Mayor. Thank you.
I got a tour and I saw all the things and I was so excited about them. And she took me to the movie theater and it had red chairs. So this is a done deal and I like it.
We have so many activities here that you just can't keep up with them all. We have exercise, we have coloring, we have crafts.
It's charming, it's attractive, it's very comfortable. It was one of the best decisions of my life.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right, no employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
I was skeptical about getting the COVID-19 vaccine. There are a lot of opinions being shared. But I had the chance to talk with my doctor about my concerns. He told me the vaccines are backed by decades of research, and that the vaccines are proven safe and effective. Now I'm protected and ready to put this pandemic behind us. Join the millions of Tennesseans who have decided to give COVID-19 vaccines a shot. Visit covid19.tn.gov to find an appointment today.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Everyone, I'm John Rickman, and this is Pat Welch. And John, we're here today for segment 46. Marching right toward 50. We're marching on, Pat, you know, I play with a little group called Us, Two, and Him. And I guess that we're most noted for outhouses more than anything else. That's, some would say that's unfortunate, but that is true, John. Some people, but no one else has tried to corner that market than us. So, and you've got a real good fix on it right now. Oh, I'm proud to live in Coffee County. Those other counties can't compare with us. But I must repeat what's been happening in our county seat. My gosh, it's really causing quite a fuss. Whoa, the interstate is coming through my outhouse. They tell me I'm on their right of way. I'll sell today and I'll get rich, but my path will end at the highway ditch. I'm making my last visit there today. Granny says to cancel Sears and Roebuck. Tell Uncle Joe to hurry up the door. With all this progress coming, we'll change to inside plumbing and shorten up our early morning stroll. Whoa, Uncle Bill has got a case of miseries. Hiking to that outhouse makes him tired. But he'll be a-getting better. He'll be an inside setter when they install that cesspool in the yard. Whoa, the interstate is a-coming through my outhouse. They tell me I'm on their right of way. I'll sell today and I'll get rich, but my path will end at the highway ditch. I'm making my last visit there today. Somebody out at ADC probably did this. Them engineers made 47 surveys. They said to put it there and that was that. They'll bring a big steamroller and flatten my two-holer, but I'll keep right on voting Democrat. Whoa, someday when I am old and tired and weary, some moonlit night I'll wake up feeling strange. I'll finish up my bath and stroll down my old path and wake up in a great big interchange. 'Cause the interstate is a-coming through my outhouse. They tell me I'm on their right of way. I'll sell today and I'll get rich, but my path will end at the highway ditch. I'm making my last visit there today. Oh yes, I'm making my last visit there today. Woo, laws, it must. That was magnificent, John. Well, that's what we cut our teeth on. Yes, sir. Is those kind of songs, yeah. and
about chewing tobacco, about
being level-headed.
Level-headed and all that sort of thing.
You know, I've told you a lot of times, I think my favorite song of yours is the one about the gentleman that continued to go to church and sit on the front row even though he couldn't hear anything.
Yeah, he just wanted to know.
But I think my favorite line of any song was the steamroller going over my two-holer.
Of course, a steamroller was several years ago.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But it still
went over plenty of two-holers,
right.
I imagine.
That's right, sir.
Well, let's see, John, that got a little bit of a segue in what we thought we were going to talk about today. We thought we'd talk a little bit today about one and maybe two long-time high school coaches in Middle Tennessee. And it seems like in 40, 50 years ago, tenure of high school coaches lasted a little bit longer now. A lot of places are changing them over every 2 or 3 years, whether they really need to or not. And that lets us remember how fortunate we are to have Coach Olive for as long as we've had. But one, Jim Cartwright was of Columbia Central in the Maury County system, and I believe he was from Nashville and went to DuPont, old DuPont, and some people get him confused with a Jim Cartwright that played at UT, but this one that went to DuPont played at, I believe, somewhere out west, Wyoming or something. Anyway, went to service, came home after the Korean War, and became head coach at Columbia in 1958, and he coached till '83. He had a long tenure and real successful tenure. And he had some of these rural roots, like these gentlemen that were about to lose their two-holer in your song. But he was a character, and I knew him a little bit when I was coaching at BGA, but he was a really nice guy and share anything with you. And he loved school enough to where he liked to go to school, and he could only go to graduate school at MTSU in the summers for the one half of the summer school year, because in the second half he'd already be having coaching responsibilities. But he went every year, and he went long enough to where he got a doctorate. So that means he's going for 20, 25 years before he'd have enough classes.
To me, he didn't seem like a doctor.
No. And I was with him one day when somebody came up to him and said, "Jim, why in the world do you want to have a doctorate? What good's that going to do for you?" Because he would tell you to his face he didn't want to go into administration. He just wanted to be athletic director and football coach. And he said, "Well, that's easy." He said, "The people of Columbia have been saying for a long time." He said, I can hear them. He said, "They're saying we need to get rid of that blankety-blank, big-nosed Cartwright." And he said, what I want them to do from now on, after this summer's over with, I've got that doctorate, they're going to have to say, we need to get rid of that blankety-blank, big-nosed Dr. Cartwright. But I can give you a couple of his great stories.
Pat, and let me, I knew him too, and in the student union there at MTSU, he would have a flock of people all around him. He'd be telling stories, and these people would just be,
John, they'd be young 25-year-old assistants from, that's my point. It'd be 25-year-olds coaching at some place like Culleoka or something, and they'd be his instructors. Yeah. Would also be sitting at the table, and they're taking notes, look like Weed Hopper taking notes at Confucius's lap there. It was incredible. But he went on, first half of every summer session from the late 50s all the way in the mid 80s, he was there, and he was a legend now, I'm telling you. But I think one of my favorite stories on him is one night he had a new kicker, long kicker for kickoffs. And the guy was a little bit more carefree than Coach Cartwright would have cared to really have normally. And they had this on film, supposedly. Now, I did not see the film, so I can't attest to it, but I know that there's several that claim they saw it. This guy, on the opening kickoff, he starts up to the ball, and he whiffed it. And after he took about 2 steps past the whiff, he just kept on jogging straight about 5 yards, and then he came back around and looped around, and everybody just kind of looked like, what's going to happen now? And he made another run at it and whiffed it the second time. And he just casually went on past and fish hooked back and came back around, went to the ball, picked it up, and threw it. picked it up and threw it downfield. And Coach Cartwright soon got it. After flags were going everywhere, of course, he went and got him another kicker. And then they end up getting beat. So Coach Cartwright is really distressed. He gets on the bus late, and the guy's in the middle of the bus, and he said all quarterbacks report to a little extra passing duty tomorrow morning at 10:30 in the morning. And I don't know whether he had to walk home or whether he actually got to ride, but that did not go over real well with Coach Cartwright. We're getting the signal, John, that it's time to quit, so we may have to go to another coach later. But I want to finish with his obituary. He wrote his obituary, and the last sentence, and it was really well done, but the last sentence said he was married for 52 years to a lady who tied with his mother as the two greatest women in the history of American civilization. And I'll tell you, from knowing Coach Cartwright, if he stayed with her for 52 years, she was a great American. and John, that finishes us. Segment 46.
It was great.
I hope we have some more if management let us come back.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, Peg, we're back, and good show. We had a lot of great information today.
I have something I wanted to say. Do I have time?
Certainly.
Okay. The dance classes at South Jackson Civic Center will be Thursday night. Show up around 6:30, quarter till 7. And Valerie Lawrence is doing that again, and I hope that we'll have some people. There was some confusion. Some people thought it was last week, but that was an error in judgment somewhere. But it is this week. So
okay, very good.
they're teaching swing, I believe.
Teaching swing. I know how to just to swing it.
Because it don't mean
just
a thing
swing
if you ain't got that swing.
Hey, what we're going to do now is close the show with my friend and co-writer, Mr. Stan Allen, who was at South Jackson Civic Center outdoor stage this Friday night. Thank you for watching. Be a good citizen, be a good neighbor, be a good friend. We'll see you next time. God bless that old flag.
So far past giving thanks, oh my tears are cried. We can just go on like this, say the word will call it quits. Baby, you can go, you can stay. I won't love you anyway. It's been so long since I felt anything inside these walls. You can't hate, you can't hurt, you don't feel it all. I used to cry, stay up nights, wondering what went wrong.
You're the same.